So I was reading an article where a woman, she posted this on TikTok, financed a Chevy Tahoe for $84,000. And she had been making her monthly payments of $1,400 for 3 years, 36 months, which means that she had paid in monthly payments about $50,000. And she looked at her statement and realized that even though she had been making monthly payments of $1,400 for 3 years, or almost $50,000 in payments, that she had only paid down $10,000 in principal on that loan. Now, I don't know what the interest rate was, which I assume it was pretty high. I don't know what the term was, which I assume it was pretty long. But man, what an absolute mess. Well, fortunately, she was looking to get rid of the car, which I would wholeheartedly recommend that she do that to get out of that deal. We don't want you to go into debt over an automobile. We prefer that you buy a used car with cash. We think that that's a smart money move. We don't want you to lease, which is just renting, and we want you to buy a car with cash. Now, that means that you're going to have to maybe not always get the exact car that you want. You're going to have to sacrifice a little bit, but we believe that the sacrifice is worth it so that you can do other things with that money. As opposed to putting money toward a depreciating asset, you can live and give more generously, take that next step in your financial journey, check off that next milestone. We want you to be there. We want you to do that. Now, Linda, she sent us in a question that we answered in the last episode. So she has a new baby on the way, which is incredible. And so that would make two for her. And she currently drives a 2018 Honda Accord, but because of the new baby, she's thinking, I want an SUV. And so she asked whether she should stop making contributions into her retirement plan so that she could save more and save more quickly for that SUV. Now, she currently had about $7,000 set aside for it, but she knew that she needed more than that. My recommendation was no, just to hold off, continue on the path that she's on, because she was actually on a really good trajectory, and she would eventually be able to get the SUV. It would not be right before the baby arrives. But it made me ask the question, well, let's just assume that she turned in her 2018 Honda Accord. She sold her 2018 Honda Accord, and then she took that money and then the $7,000, and she took that money to buy an SUV. What could she get? So that's let's just say that's about $22,000. Can you purchase a good SUV for under $20,000? So I went exploring. I went trying to answer that question for Linda. And fortunately, the answer was yes, you can, because cars.com they'd already put together an article for us to look at some used SUVs that you can actually buy under $20,000. So I'm going to take some time to walk through that list. We're going to look at compact SUVs. We're going to look at kind of the mid-size SUVs, and then what we need in the Rainer household, those SUVs with that third row. But let's start. So if you're in the market for an SUV and you have $20,000, this is the episode for you. But let's start with the compact SUV. So they gave a few recommendations, starting with a 2015 Acura RDX, which they said you could buy for around $18,000. I like Acuras. It's a Honda product. I drive an Acura TL. It's a 2014. I can attest to you, those things, they just keep going. They're phenomenal cars. They also recommend the 2017 GMC Terrain for around $18,000. They also said you can get a 2015, 2016 Honda CR-V for around $19,000. A 2016 Mazda CX-5 for $18,000. A 2017 Nissan Rogue for around $18,000. And then finally, a 2015 to 2017 Toyota RAV4 for around $20,000. Now, once again, these are compact SUVs. Now, if I were to make a recommendation, and as I look at this list, my preference is probably going to be that either the Acura RDX or the Honda CR-V. Third would be the Toyota. Now, why? I like Honda products. Toyota products are phenomenal as well. Really, you can't go wrong with either of those brands. But that would be my my choice. If I were looking for an automobile compact SUV in this price range, that's what I would do. Okay, now let's consider the mid-size SUVs, and they give us 3 options that you consider, starting with the 2013 Lexus RX. They said that that's going to be around $20,000. Now, it's a Lexus, so it's a luxury car. So if you noticed, you're going to have to get a little bit older of a model, but that's okay. They also recommended a 2015 to 2017 Nissan Murano. They said you can get that around $19,000, and then a 2015 Toyota Venza for around $19,000. I forgot about the Venza. I forgot that those things even existed. And if I were to pick just out of those 3, I would probably lean toward that Toyota Venza. Now, I'm going to go for the Toyota products, which, Lexus is also a Toyota product, but because you're looking at an older Lexus, 2013 to 2014, I'd probably opt for that 2015. Yeah, I think that would be a good car. But I don't think that you're going to go wrong with either the Lexus or the Toyota Venza. There. Okay. So now, and these things are like really popular now. It's that third row SUV. And look, I get it. That's what we have here in the Rayner households. We have that. We have a third row SUV, and then we also have my sedan. And look, we got 3 boys. We need space, because we're not just carrying around 3 boys, we're also carrying around their friends, and then also all of their sports equipments and chairs that we have to, take around to all the soccer fields. Like we got we got a lot going on. And so we need that third row SUV. And so if you're in the market for a third row SUV, but you only have $20,000, here are, I should say only, that's a good chunk of money, right? Here are the options for you. You have a 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe that's around, they say you can get one around $19,000, $500, right? So that's pretty good. Then we have a 2017 Kia Sorento, right around $18,000. A 2014 to 2015 Toyota Highlander, which is going to be around $21,000 to $22,000. And then yeah, that's it. So I would recommend, once again, you know where I'm going with this. If I were to pick out out of those 3 options, I would actually go with the Toyota Highlander. I once again, Toyota, I just like the brand. I think it's much more reliable than some of those other brands. Now, if you go with those other brands, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I still love you, but I would probably go with that Toyota Highlander. I'm going to throw in one that maybe you weren't thinking. Linda's looking for that SUV. But what I've noticed, and Sarah's going to get mad at me for saying this, what I've noticed over the years is that I find myself thinking, you know what? I can see why a minivan would be a great option. I can see why people love minivans. Now, here's the deal. This is funny. So when Sarah and I first got married, we said, you know what? One of the things that we have to agree on early on is that we are not going to be the minivan family. That's not going to be us. We're going to do the SUV. It was a conversation that we had early on. We're just not going to do the minivan. And we stuck with it. But once again, I got to be honest with you. I'm looking at some of these Toyota Odysseys, Honda Odyssey, the Toyota Sienna, I believe it's called. I'm looking at some of these minivans. Like, man, that's a lot of space. That seems really convenient. I could do that. So I'm going to throw in a minivan that you can get under $20,000. And it's a 2015, this is according to cars.com, a 2015 Honda Odyssey for $18,500. Now, to me, that's a good deal. And Linda, I know you may be thinking SUV. But just test out a minivan. As somebody who's had SUVs this entire time, I'm telling you, those minivans, they seem really, really convenient. So don't rule those out. So those are some. If you have $20,000 and you're looking to buy an SUV or maybe a minivan, those are going to be some options for you. Once again, those are found at cars.com. Linda, there you go. There's your list. If you want to buy it right now, there's your list for you so that you don't have to go into debt. You don't have to get a car lease. You don't have to go into debt. You can buy those right now.